All right, another episode of Conversate After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's going great with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people they can find us.
You can find us at Conversates After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Listen to our past episodes. Make sure you tell a friend. All right, Tay, let's start with the icebreaker.
Okay. Are you a good kisser? How do you know?
Um, yes, I very much so am. And just the feedback that I get from partners. Um, they really enjoy it. I think it's a skill set that you have to develop. And I had a person who really taught me how to kiss when I was younger. Won't go too deep into that story, but she was older than me. So I definitely spent a lot of time practicing. And I'm a Pisces. Shout out to Pisces. This is the last day of Pisces season. So we tend to be a little bit more passionate. And some people will say toxic, but we tend to have a little bit more passion with the stuff that we do. And I think a good tongue kissing session with some heavy petting involved is always a good time. So yes, absolutely, I would give myself, just because I'm being modest, a 9 out of 10.
Okay. I think I'm pretty good. To my knowledge, I've never had any complaints, but I won't.
Do you like to kiss?
I love to kiss
Okay.
if the other person can kiss, because I've been with some people, I've kissed some people and I was like, I don't like that. But I don't know. I think sometimes maybe kissing is something that is a chemistry thing with people because sometimes it clicks and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you cool with just at this age? Are you cool with just having like a makeout session with somebody?
I'm gonna say no. Well, it depends. My reasoning for saying no is to say that if I'm making out with you, it's because I want to do other things. If I don't want to do other things, I'm not going to make out with you. But if there's a like if we have a goal in mind or something, like if we say we're going to wait till marriage to have sex, or we're going to, if it's for a particular reason of why
Mhm.
we're holding off, I could do that, but you know.
Yeah. I to me, and this may sound weird, but I can be perfectly fine with just like an eighth grade session where like, we make out and it may just be, what they say, heavy petting. What is it when you finger a chick? What's that? Third base? Second base?
I never knew what the bases were, so I just know what
Oh,
home run is.
third base, I think first base we're gonna say is a kiss. Second base maybe is like her breast or whatever. And then third, I would say probably is like, fingering her or whatever. And then, or maybe oral. Is if somebody gives you head, is that a home run or is that third base?
I would say maybe that was third base if
Head
I'm
is third base.
thinking about it. Yeah, because I would think a home run would be the actual
Sex.
intercourse.
Okay. I'm cool with some eighth grade shit. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, hey, let's just do some kissing and heavy petting or whatever and just chill out. And maybe that's just because I'm getting older. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love to get it in. But I am more of a quality over quantity person when it comes to sex. So, and I think that intimacy can be there without, going all the way. So I know that may sound kind of strange, but I'm actually kind of cool with that. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want to have sex or that I'm compensating for the ability not to have the inability to have sex. It's just that form of intimacy I like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What makes a person a bad kisser, in your opinion?
Oh, there are so many things. The first thing that pops into my head was this guy. I remember kissing and like there was just all this spit, just
Yeah, I hate that. I hate
oh.
Ugh, I hate that.
I remember another guy, like he like to ram his tongue down my throat. Like it wasn't like a good kiss is kind of like a give and take with the tongue and like it's like a dance almost. But this guy was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, this, and to his credit, when I brought it up, he was able to change. But if he got too excited and too in the moment, it would always go back to.
And I don't know if you ever have encountered this with guys, because I've only been with women. But don't you hate it when they have like a big horse tongue, like Mr. Ed tongue, whatever, and it's kind of like extra thick and dry or what have you? Have you ever encountered that?
I don't think I've ever had to deal with that.
Some people we got like them real thick, long tongues, and it just makes it hard to do the dance like you talked about.
Yeah.
So that, and then I think just like with oral sex, there's some people who they don't really like to kiss,
Hmm.
but they will do it because it's a part of the act, and they don't like if you're gonna do it or you're not, right?
Right.
That halfway shit. I look, I'd rather just not do it. My part,
I agree.
you know, just go all the way with it. So,
But
and I
I will say I can't be in a relationship with somebody like that because I do like to kiss. So if I'm with somebody who doesn't like it, that wouldn't work for me.
yeah, because there's people who like they to them the kissing is gross. Like I know one person I know they're like, I don't like doing it. I can taste the food in their mouth and people don't brush and they don't do all this old shit. And maybe I should be a little bit more discerning, but I'm not just out here trying to kiss everybody though. Like
Right.
those days are gone. I remember one time I was at some event. Shit, I kissed like 4 or 5 women in one weekend and came home and I was sick for like 2 or 3 days. And I was just like, that's what you get for kissing all these goddamn women. Now I wasn't giving them all tongue, but
Okay.
putting your mouth on these women, and I knew them, they were all friends, and it wasn't at the same time. But yeah, you got to be a little bit discerning about who you putting your mouth on these days.
It's just true.
Especially because like shit, the older we get, I don't bounce back from getting a cold or I don't know or some shit like that. If I get that, I'm down for damn near a week.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and, and you know us men, when we get sick, it's like the world is about to end and shit, you
Big
know.
babies.
For real. I can admit that. Like, hey, and I ain't got nobody to take care of me, so it's just me. Shit, nah, I'm real hyper vigilant about what I do. So, but yeah. But speaking though, you couldn't date somebody like this. I got a question for you.
Okay.
It's gonna get deep. It's a very simple question. Would you date you?
Would I date me? Like everything about me, I can't add or subtract.
You. Would you date you?
Would I date me?
I'm already gonna say no.
I have.
What? You have? Okay. I thought you would say no, but go ahead.
No, I have. And it was a thing of the more we got to know each other, the more we realized um how much alike we were. Um, and I will say the one thing I hated about it was that we were both extremely quiet.
Yeah. That's why I figured you would say no.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, at times it was cool because I'm not the type of person who has to be talking at all times. As a matter of fact, I like not talking a lot of times. But I don't know, like there would be times like we would be out And I tend, because I'm quiet, I tend to attract people who like to talk. So like if I'm not used to being out in public, like hanging with somebody and it's just dead quiet. Like if we're at a restaurant, we should be having conversations across the table. Like I hate to see couples out and they're on their phones not engaging with each other. Like I'm not used to that. And that wasn't an all the time thing, but there were times when it would get to that point where we would both be quiet and it's like I'm like, okay, I want to talk about something, but I don't know what to talk about. But other than that, it was good until it wasn't.
Yeah. What part of, other than the being quiet part, what about you would you like in terms of you were dating you? What part of you would you like?
I'm gonna take this back to that guy. We were both very accommodating. I'm that type of person anyway. I enjoy everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. I can have fun doing almost anything. So I'm willing to try anything once. So I like people who wanted to go out and try new things, experience new things, have different experiences, things like that. And I'm accommodating. So if somebody wants to do something that I may not want to do, if it's not going to kill me, let's do it. And he was that way too. We were both very accommodating. He was somebody I would throw out a suggestion, let's try this. Okay, let's do it. That type of thing.
Yeah. Um, so you talked about being quiet as being the downside, but then like the accommodating piece. I get it. I think that if I were to date somebody like me, it would be a challenge. Um, we would get along great in terms of, if I was dating me, it'd be a person who loves 90s R&B, loves live music, really down for the people, Black Power. All of those things would be like, yes, perfect. We could do things so we can enjoy all these things together. Travel, all the things that I like to do, that would be perfect. Now, this where the challenge would come. I am an extreme giver. In the bedroom, I am a pleaser. And one thing about givers and pleasers, they don't know how to receive. They struggle with receiving. And that's me. So if I was in a relationship with somebody like me, somebody's going to be unfulfilled because they're like, no, 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 just let me, and it would be uncomfortable on that critical piece because for I think people who are givers and people who are pleasers, obviously you thrive off of that. And if you're not able to do that, then it's problematic. And I recognize that's a problem for me, just not even with relationships, with friendships. I've had situations where people have tried to be nice to me, and because I think we as black men, and especially myself, we are conditioned to just give, support, neglect yourself, do without. As long as everybody else is happy, it's okay. And then we create, and I saw a lady talk about this in social media. We condition our women to not care about how we are because we always put our needs to the secondary, to the backside for everybody else's, for our kids, for our parents, for our women, everything but ourselves. And I think that that would be a major issue because I know that's been an issue in my past relationships where I've had partners who say, well, I want to do something nice for you, and I'm like, nah, it's okay, you don't have to do it. And they're like, well, damn, I want to do something nice for you, but downplaying it, actually, I'm thinking I'm doing like the noble thing, and actually I'm being an asshole because I'm denying them from being nice to me.
Yeah. Um, I'm a pleaser too, but I will say difference between me and you is I do want people to please me, and I learned that from my very first relationship, my college boyfriend. His mother and his grandmother spoiled him rotten, and I will say when we got together, I contributed to that. But what I learned from that is that I don't always think about myself because my thought is not always, but it's usually the other person. What does that person need? How can I please this person? I need somebody to do that, to say no, let me do this for you. I need that person who's going to think like that. I don't I yeah, I can't be with somebody who's a taker. I need to be with somebody who's also a pleaser.
And that's good that you were able to accommodate them to do that because for me, I'm like, no, 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 it's cool. I had a chick that I would say things like, man, I want to develop my culinary skills. I want to learn, to make some signature dishes and all these different things. All the things that I talk about, I always say that men are much better gift givers than women because we pay attention to what you're going to like, and we give you what you as our woman like. And I think that a
That
per-
has, excuse me, that has not been my experience. But go ahead.
okay, all right. Um, and I think a lot of women tend to give their men what they like for their man. That makes sense.
I hear what you're saying. I don't
Oh.
agree, but I hear what you're saying.
Okay. All right. You may not agree in terms of, because I'm generalizing and I know you don't like generalizations, but I, in a past relationship, I had a woman, she would buy like, well, I think you would look good in this. And okay, maybe I could get out of my comfort zone and allow her to dress me or do whatever. But it was always something that she wanted for me. Well, I see you on the grill all the time, barbecuing, so I'm gonna buy you this custom made utensil set. I didn't fucking ask for that. I like my little old regular tongs and spatula and shit. So what happened was she would buy me shit and then it would just go in the closet. And then one of my homeboys, like my best friend who knows me, would send me something. And then one time, Tay, I'm gonna tell you, my homeboy sent me something for my birthday, and I like gadgets. And when I opened it up, I was like, "Damn!" I was like, I was like excited, right? And then I looked, and you know how you can feel that heat coming from the side. I saw and I could read her mind, like, "Motherfucker, you will never respond like that when I buy you shit." So I tried to like fix it, but it was too late. It was too late, and I feel like guys do a better job of that than women do.
Hasn't been my experience.
What's been your experience?
Because women are more detail oriented than men, I find that within my relationships, I've had to tell people what I want versus them actually paying attention. Now there have been some, so I can't generalize because there have been some that pay attention to every little thing and will, give accordingly. But there have been many who don't pay attention to it and just buy whatever. And I'm looking like, this is not what I want, which is why I got into a habit of letting people know if I like their gift or not. Because if this is a person that I'm going to continuously get a gift from, they need to know what I like. Because I don't want to be disappointed every time I get a gift, especially when I give good gifts, because I do pay attention.
And how do you communicate that and how is it received? Does it hurt their feelings?
No, because was it truth without how does the saying go?
I don't know.
Like truth, truth without compassion is cruelty. Like you can tell somebody the truth without being a butthole about it. And if they get upset, then that's something within them, actually. Because I'm not going to say because I can tell when somebody likes a gift or not. It can get you a little bit, but you have to look within yourself and say maybe okay, next time I'll try something different. You know.
I was in such a toxic relationship that if anything other than yes, I like it, would have been like, oh, but you ungrateful, I ain't buying your shit else again, which is toxic, right?
Yes.
Um, and controlling and all that other shit. But yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. that type of feedback is warranted. But for me, if I have to tell you what I want, I don't want it.
I get that, but
I have to
nobody's a
tell you
mind reader.
if I had to tell you, I'm not a fucking kid, right? Like kids, like go through this. Remember when we was kids, you go through like the Sears catalog and like I'm making my list for mom and dad to buy me and shit. And sometimes you got it, sometimes you didn't, right? I feel like as an adult, I want my partner to learn me and to know me. And
But that has to start somewhere. Nobody meets somebody new and knows them back to, and knows everything about them. That has to start with a conversation and getting to know people. If you don't say, I like this type of stuff, I like this type of stuff, I don't like this type of stuff, I don't, how are they going to know? Like I can see 20, 25 years down the road and this person's still giving you stuff that you don't like, then that's a problem. But at the beginning, you have to communicate. And even if your tastes change, that's something that has to be communicated.
yeah, you make a good point, but I think while you're doing that, learning one another, you're not buying extravagant gifts during that time frame anyway. So that I'm not buying something crazy during the learning period. I'm just not.
It doesn't have to be, but you're still learning people though. It still comes to a point. And I'm not saying your gifts have to be extravagant for you to like them. Unless you're that type of person. Everything gotta be 5 star, $500 gift or more, unless you're that type of person. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is learning your likes and dislikes. That has to start somewhere.
Yeah, it goes in the bedroom too, right?
Exactly, exactly. I don't expect somebody who doesn't know me to come in. I Now let me say, I used to expect when a guy first met me that he should know how to please me. And when I grew up, I had to learn, no, everybody don't know me because every woman is not the same. So I have to teach him what I like. Now, maybe he might veer off based on something that I like and start doing something new. Oh, I didn't even know I like that. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
all of that is conversation.
yeah, yeah. I get it. I had a I learned to receive feedback in a constructive feedback in a good way. I had a partner that was older than me, just a couple years, but she was still older than me, way more mature than I was. And we were in college, and we were just talking about this, today. When was your first time eating a girl out, or when was your first time getting ate out? And we talked about this on the show before. In high school, that was a no-no. Like if it got out that you was eating coochie, man, you was gonna get drove by everybody in the school. Like, you be eating pussy, you know what I'm saying? And then like in the flip, it was even worse for the girls because like if you was giving head in high school, you was a hoe. You was a straight up and down hoe. Then we all get to college, and then motherfuckers start putting their mouth on everybody, and in college where it's definitely way more diseases and shit, right? But we out there experimenting. So I didn't have a lot of experience with going down on a woman. And so that cookie cutter, just me trying to do what I seen on porn or doing what I think is good. And she was like, no, do it like this. And she trained me where like shoot if we were doing that, if I was going down on her, it didn't take long because I knew exactly what she wanted, the spot to hit, and to make it like boom, hit hard. And then I found out that may work with other women, but for some women it's like, no, I need you to do it like this. But I thought back to that situation because I'm a pleaser, and because she told me what to do, tell me what to do. That way we can both benefit from it. You're gonna get yours, and I'm gonna get mine from knowing the fact that I made you happy in a very good way.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Do y'all respond the same way to that type of feedback? And he's like, hey, do it this way? Or are you just like, you better be glad you getting it. Shut up.
Well, I can't speak for they. I can only speak for me. I mean, if I'm doing something and the guy's not being pleased and he wants something different, tell me. I'm not a mind reader, especially if we're just getting to know each other.
I think the main feedback that I give women is like, watch your teeth. Y'all know when y'all fucking teeth be on our shit, don't y'all?
I've never had that issue, but I've been in a space where that has happened. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't tell other people's business, but I do know that there are women who don't don't know not to use teeth, I guess. I don't know.
Watch the damn teeth, man. That, that's part of the risk when you fuck with new people. You know, they do shit that you don't necessarily like.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
Think we've talked about spinning a block in terms of relationships before, but what about if you spin the block, if you're single, you spin the block just to get your needs met? Is that right or is that wrong? Would you do it? Wouldn't you do it? What's up?
Yeah, I would definitely do it. But it really just depends where we are as individuals at that time. There are certain people that, yeah, I would like to because we were good at it. We had chemistry. It was fun. It's like riding the bike when we're together. But the shit that comes along with it, the juice may not be worth the squeeze. There's a person who every other week I have to stop myself from sending them like a nasty reel or something in their inbox because number one, they may entertain it, but then I also know that I'm going to have to do a bunch of other things that open up doors that need to just stay closed because I'm not going to be able to be what she needs and she ain't gonna be able to be what I need.
Mhm.
She's not at a place where it's just like, hey, let's just do this so we can have fun or whatever. Because I tried that. I tried it one time, and boy, didn't even take off. Remember back in, never mind. Well, I'm not laughing at this, but you remember back in the day when what was the Space Challenger tried to take off into space
Oh gosh.
and
Yes.
they didn't make it? That's how it was.
That's a bad analogy.
I'm sorry, but it was explosive, and I'm sorry, but you get the point I'm trying to make.
I guess.
And I'm not disrespecting those people. I'm just saying, like, it didn't even, yeah, it was bad.
Oh my gosh. I've never had a problem with spinning a block to get a need met. But one thing I've learned over the years with me, if it was somebody that I really had feelings for, I can't do it. Because then that would bring me back to that place. And if the relationship ended for a specific reason, I'm not trying to go back there. So I can do it when it comes to somebody who was just a friend with benefits or somebody who was just a F buddy or whatever. And have no issues. And I know for a lot of women that helps to keep keep their body count down. If you just circle back to somebody from the past, keep your numbers low, but still get your needs met.
Raw dog them.
No. Well, I mean, it depends. If it
About to lie
depends.
that quick.
No, it wasn't a lie. I told you in my youth, I was a stickler for the keep wrapping it up. But and I was gonna say it depends on what we were doing before, but uh at this age, I think condom sex is best sex anyway. So
you,
so yeah, we're
you
not in a
on that
relationship.
hill alone. You were on that hill alone.
I'm just saying. Because it's bad for y'all, it's better for me because it lasts longer.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
it's I mean, I can power through it, but at this stage in my life, I'm all on the hey, go get tested, I get tested, and let's be honest with one another. Like, who else you smashing? Listen, you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings. Yes, it may change how we interact with one another, but let me know. And I may not ask the question, but I'm gonna assume if we friends and we're doing this, I would hope that you're not gonna do something that's gonna put me at risk. And we at the age where should no babies be happening? It can't happen though.
Yeah.
Definitely can happen. But we at an age where like that shouldn't be at the forefront. But let's take care of that, and that way we can feel it all and enjoy it all. If
Well,
it's
I haven't reached that age where that's not a concern. That's still a concern. So if that's not something that I want to happen, then yeah, condoms need to be used.
damn, that sucks. But I get it. I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. But it's just so much better without. So much better.
Not for me.
So you more so on the you can't tell the difference in feeling?
It depends. And at the time that I can say the times when I've been able to tell that a condom was being used, I wasn't into the person all like that, so she didn't get as into it as she should be. So then I can tell the difference then.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If because you and I both talk about ethical non-monogamy and shit like that, right? If you're gonna go, if you're gonna go raw, can that person only be with you, or can they be raw with someone else as well?
Um, if we're doing that, it needs to be you need I feel like I sound like a prude, but I'm thinking of my health. If I agree with to be raw with this person, I need it need to be just the two of us because you don't know what the other people doing. If all of y'all, even if it's ethical, you you don't know who they're being with, and then who that person is with, and then who. So everything comes back.
Yeah, because y'all all in the bed together when you ain't wearing the condom for sure.
Yeah, I can be paranoid at times.
No, no, listen, paranoia keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Paranoia keeps you alive. I trust that. Um, I don't know. I I can't say that it would be a deal breaker for me because unfortunately in my past I have been a part of adultery, meaning the person I was with was committing adultery. And yeah, we wasn't strapped up, and I gotta assume that they weren't strapped up with their main person. So in that regard, yes, all of us was sleeping sleeping together. Um, and is that foul? Like if you cheating on your partner and you going raw with the person you're cheating with, is that foul?
I think so.
What if it's your main side piece? What if what
Now,
if what if it's your Jesse Fawcett?
don't do her like that.
Shout out to the book Harlem Rhapsody. Tay and I read this book named Harlem Rhapsody. So check out that book. It's a great book. But what if it's your Jesse Fawcett? Y'all been cheating together for 14 years. You gotta be strapped for 14 years with your main side piece.
I now, in all honesty, I have been in a situation. I was the Jesse Foster. It wasn't no 14 years, but I have been I have been the main side piece, and we didn't. But it was always in my mind. I don't because I think too much. I analyze too much, and I wish I wasn't like that. But I analyzed too much, so that was something I thought about during those times because it wasn't all the time that we didn't use time, but the times that we didn't, that was on. Because my thing was because I knew. the situation. So I didn't stop dating other people. So my thing was, why do you, I mean, I nobody trusts me because I tell the truth, but I don't know.
I mean, my thing is, for men, uh, two things that you can't do. You can't bring anything home to your wife. And that means diseases, that means drama, that means babies.
Hmm.
So you need to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you are protecting home. So yeah, I would have to say that it's foul. If you're gonna cheat, just don't let her have some dignity. You know what I mean? And it goes vice versa because like I told you, I think I shared on this show before. I was with somebody who was cheating on me and they got pregnant by another man. So clearly they wasn't wearing condoms. And that created a lot of hurt and years of therapy. So I wouldn't want to do that to somebody else. But I've definitely been guilty of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Because the main side pieces, they get special special treatment.
Yes, I know.
They get because listen, ain't nothing hurt when your main side piece leave you.
I've been told. No, let me stop. No, I can't say it like that, but never
It's
mind.
true.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah, it's true.
I
It's true
get it.
because like who you gonna talk to about it? Your boys?
Your wife? I don't know.
No, you can't. You go. I saw the people talk about all the time on these social media comedians or whatever, but there was this dude way back in the day, and I can't remember his name. I couldn't find his account, but all I know is that he was from Baltimore. He was from Baltimore because like he always talk about two and do and that terrible ass accent they have. Shout out to people that listen from Baltimore, but y'all accent is terrible. Um, but he had one where like he was walking with his babe, and then he saw like his side piece walking with somebody else, and like he couldn't say nothing because he with his babe, and all of a sudden he got mad and shit. And then she was like, "What the hell is your problem?" He was just like, "Oh man, just shut the hell up," because he couldn't open up to her because he saw a side piece of somebody
Hmm.
else.
That's why if it's ethical, he could have talked to her about it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But what is about? I don't know. I don't really want to know about the other person though.
I
Even
can see it. I can
ethical.
understand.
That's not my thing. Like there's some people I guess is that what is that called? Say is that it's not voyeurism. Like I had a person I was dating. We were non-monogamous, and she would like to hear about my escapades with other people. Like tell me what y'all did. Like, oh, we
Mhm.
went out, we got Mexican food. She was like, no, tell me what y'all did. And I was like, what?
What I
It,
told you.
it made me uncomfortable because like I've never been in that situation before. And I'm like, okay, what if I get too excited and talking about what happened and I piss her off and I mess up this whole arrangement that we got. It was different. So that's not voyeurism. What's that called?
No, that's what I have, and I've talked about it on here before. I don't say what I have, like it's a disease. That's one of my kinks. It's called neurophilia.
Okay,
When
that's
you
never. I
like
thought
to hear,
neurophilia was like reading books or some shit like that.
it's all of that. The reading of it, the hearing of it, all of that's included in that. But I think what you was talking about, not in terms of wanting to hear about your partner's sexcapades, but just wanting to know about their other relationships, is called compersion.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so it's when you're happy, that your partner is has another partner and y'all talk about it and it's totally fine with everybody.
That's not me. That's not me. Like I want there to be harmony in our relationship, but I really am on a need to know safety safety, practicality, what I need to know. That's it. I don't need to know how much fun y'all having. I don't need to hear you kiki kakan on the phone with that motherfucker. All that old, he ain't that goddamn funny. Shit, motherfucker be all right with his gal, going with somebody and doing whatever. But you hear your lady on the phone and that dude making her laugh and she kiki kakan and shit. You be like, all right, that's too much now. That's too much.
That type of stuff doesn't bother me. Only time it would bother me, and I know this about myself, is if I feel like this person has more of your heart than I do. That's when it that's when it would get to me. But just hearing about my partner with somebody else, it doesn't bother
I get it. Okay, so I got a would you or wouldn't you?
me. Okay.
Ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. So you're with a partner. You met somebody new. And we talked about how I said I could be on that eighth grade shit, right? But you're with somebody and he gives you amazing oral sex, mind blowing. But he don't want to go all the way. He don't want to have actual intercourse. Are you staying or are you going?
Is this somebody I just met, or is this like
Yeah,
a long?
yeah. You got into a relationship with y'all are learning each other, right? And they give you amazing oral sex, mind blowing, but they don't want to have intercourse. Is that enough, or are you going to need the full thing?
If we're going that far, I'm gonna need the full thing because otherwise I'm thinking something's wrong. And what you're trying to hide.
Yeah.
So like I would say if it was for he didn't want to go all the way because of religious reasons, I could believe I could get with that. But most people who are not going all the way, well, let me say, most grown people who are not going all the way for religious reasons are not even going to go the oral sex route. That's something like younger kids do to try to keep their virginity.
Mhm.
But when you're grown, you're not even going to go that far if you're not trying to have sex for religious reasons. So let's take religion out of it. We're just having oral sex just to do it and not going further. Yeah, I think something's wrong.
Yeah, that's those are legitimate questions and concerns to have. Maybe his dick don't work, or um, maybe he has a condition like a disease or whatever that he doesn't want to expose you to. Definitely would cause for questions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was with a chick and she only wanted to give head and it's amazing, because I really can't say that I've had a lot of amazing head. I would definitely enjoy it, but I don't think that she could be my main one because, like I said, I'm a pleaser. And, obviously when you're getting head, yes, you can, there's ways to dominate. Nah, it wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work for me. It's like I don't like this dude, and I'm glad Willard smacked him on that stage. But Chris Rock said, a meal out the microwave is good, but you need something out the stove to really be fulfilled. So, or something like that. He said a joke somehow like that. But yeah, for sure. Now it wouldn't be enough for me. It wouldn't be enough for me. Not to be my main babe. Now, if we just like friends with benefits, or if she was my main, not even my main side piece, she could be my main side piece because I'd have to fuck my main side piece. If she was like a friends with benefits, that's probably the closest she could get if she was only willing to give head.
What's the point of having a friends with benefits if you're not gonna get all the benefits?
That's a benefit.
Okay. Okay.
That's a benefit.
True. True.
It's better than nothing. Shit. Yeah, I go ahead because sometimes when you get well, you don't know. A lot of us fellas say once we get with a chick, a good number of y'all change in the shit that y'all are willing to do in the bedroom.
What do you mean change?
So there are women who say, "Oh, I'm willing to do. There's no holds barred if I get married, and whatever my husband wants, he's gonna get because we're married." And most married men or men who have been married know that that's some fucking bullshit because sometimes, hey, I might be tired. Sometimes, we talked about in marriages, y'all change as people, and I just ain't feeling you like that. And I don't want to give you all that shit that you asking for because I ain't feeling you like that. So sometimes it changes. So you might need that. You might need that friend that give you that sloppy toppy that you ain't getting at home.
Whatever.
No, I mean for real. If that's to me, that's the whole part of the ethical non-monogamy. Like if I'm dating Tay, I'm not gonna go out and get another girl who's quiet and lets me dominate the conversation. She's gonna have to be different in some way to fulfill me in a different way, in a way that you can't do it. Like, okay, yeah, I like to talk a lot. Clearly, if people watch this show, they say I like to talk a lot. But maybe I want to go out with somebody who's gonna lead the conversation. I can just rest and I ain't got to carry the conversation. But I still love my Tay.
Hmm.
Get what I mean?
I get it.
You're not dating when. So if you got more than one dude, they're gonna be cookie cut. They're gonna be the same dude. What's the point?
No, but but none of my, other than being funny, that's one thing that has to be there.
So you
Well,
want you want to
funny
kiki you want
or
to kiki and kaka with motherfuckers. That's your problem.
I mean, it's what's true is true. I mean, they either have to be funny or somebody that I can laugh a lot with, you know. But yeah, none of my exes are. They were just funny and really smart. I like nerds. So, I mean, other than that, none of them were like at all.
Okay. I mean, a friend of mine told me that once she got divorced, um, she had this whole plan on the type of guys that she was going to have. Like she wanted the guy that she could take to the work function. She wanted, the not necessarily a thug because that's not her style, but the guy who wasn't as polished, right?
I
Uh,
get that.
guy who was artsy fartsy. She was like, I had this idea of the type of roster I wanted, and they all were different, and they all fit different needs. And to me, that if you're gonna be non-monogamous, shit, let's have some variety. I ain't trying to be with the same motherfucker.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we talked about enough today. Tell them where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave us a comment.
Yeah, and also if you want to help me build my roster back up, email the show. I'm looking for a variety, the spice of life. And also go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Check out our past episodes. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. We'll watch you next time. Peace.
Bye.